benefits, forgives iniquity, till the diseases in my ligaments. The Redeemer and Creator, me from dust, He know I make up, merciful and slow to anger, gracious, only one can save us. Yah, who satisfies my mouth with good things, bless Yah, who renews me like the eagle's wings, bless Yah, who made His ways known unto Moses and His acts to the children of Israel, who He chosen, bless Yah. Bless Yah, oh my soul, bless Yah, all His angels, bless Yah, all His holiness, bless Yah, all His words, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, singing praises to Your holy name, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, singing praises to Your holy name. I will bless Yah at all times, His praise shall continually be in my rhymes. Praise Yah, for unto what His glorious shine. Baruch Yah Melech, Shemaim Elol Ba'aret. Praise Yah, for He execute righteousness and judgment for all that are oppressed. He renewed my health like the eagle's wings. Yah fed my mouth with good things, so unto Yah His glory I sing. Yah bless. Bless Yah, oh my soul, bless Yah, all His angels, bless Yah, all His holiness, bless Yah, all His words, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, singing praises to Your holy name, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, singing praises to Your holy name, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, singing praises to Your holy name, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, singing praises to Your holy name.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise and honor to the Creator of the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that is therein is, by saying hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. Yah is righteous, Yah is holy, and let Yahweh be magnified. Once again, the Creator has allowed us to come before you another day, another night, another week, bringing to you His great, holy, and exalted words, even the words of Yah. My name is Mowreh IshYAH of the house of Israel, located right here in Cincinnati, Ohio, 1907 Vine Street, bringing to you nothing but the truth. And yes, it is true. All we're going to do is tell you the truth, for Yah ordained me to tell you the truth. And this is what I'm going to do. And who is this Yah? Yah is the creator of the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that is therein is. Yah is the Elohim of our fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, Yitzhak, and YIsraEL, whom you may know as Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yah is our king, He's our judge, He's our lawgiver, and Yahweh is our only Savior, and not just of Israel. Yah is the Savior of the world. And I praise the mighty Yah for allowing us to come before you this night. Of course, as many of you all know who regularly listen to our programs, we have been on a very short sabbatical for a week and a half, couple weeks, because we have been getting repairs done to the sanctuary. But we are back, and we will be back every night as we were before. And the time now is very critical, So I pray that you get your pens and pads out, take good notes, and begin to understand what the Creator of the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that is therein is would have us to do, even in these last days. Tonight, we'll be discussing the doctrine of race, ethnicity, and nationality. And what do I mean, the doctrine of race, ethnicity, and nationality? Well, little do people know that the reason why the world is in a state of confusion today is because of the various doctrines that have brought confusion to the world. And our people in the world undoubtedly have not been able to discern between what is right and what is wrong. Even tonight, as I speak, here in the United States of America, the President of the United States will give the State of the Union address. This State of the Union address will deal with the state of the Union, the 50 states in America. But what one should be concerning themselves with is what is the state of the world? What is the state of your community? What is the state of your cities that you live in and work in and eat in and day out? What is the state of the very family you're in? This is what you need to know. And what rule? What is your family? What is your state? What is your city governed by? What is it ruled by? Is it ruled by democratic rule? Is it ruled by Republican rule? Or is it ruled by communism? Or are you ruled by some type of religious faction, such as Catholicism? Is that what you're ruled by? And maybe you protested the Catholic religion and you became a Protestant, which is nothing more than just Christianity. Are you ruled by that? Or maybe you're a Muslim and you're ruled by Islam. Or maybe you're Jewish and you're ruled by Judaism. Or maybe you're just white and you ruled by some type of white nationalism. Maybe you're just black and your rule is some type of Afrocentric African custom that you've adopted. But what you're going to find, all these various doctrines are against one another. Yes, the Democrats are against the Republicans. And communism is against Democratic and Republican rule. And what about religions? Catholics against Protestants, Protestants against Catholics, Islam against Judaism, Judaism against Islam, black against white, white against black. What doctrine do you adhere to? And what is the rule that controls the dominion of your life? Will you continue to allow yourself to be ruled by the doctrine of race, ethnicity, and nationality? In other words, whatever your nationality is and you brought up on, that becomes your truth. That becomes your way of life. That becomes your doctrine. But is that what Yahweh wants you to be ruled by? Your nationality? Is the creator of the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that is therein is, do he want you to be ruled by your ethnicity? Sure, you have an ethnicity and you was raised a certain way, but is that what he wants you ruled and living by? And what about your race? Is that what Yahweh, the creator of the heaven and the earth, the sea, and all that is therein, is that what he handed down from his holy habitation for you to be controlled by? There's only one doctrine that Yahweh gave the world. And it's the one doctrine that nobody want to do. Nobody want to keep. Nobody want to adhere to. And nobody want to live by. And it's not your race. It's not your ethnicity. Nor is it your nationality. One doctrine and one doctrine it is. And let me show you what this doctrine is so you won't be tricked and bamboozled by the state of the union. What you need to concern yourself with is the state of the world. And let me show you the only doctrine that Yahweh gave us to be ruled by. And you'll read about it in the book of Isaiah 42. Let us turn there. And I'm glad to be back teaching you the word of Yahweh. And I may add, if anyone is teaching you the doctrine of race, the doctrine of ethnicity, the doctrine of nationality, it is only because they were not sent by Yahweh. Because only Yahweh sent you and sent his servants, his messengers, to tell the people one thing and one thing only, and that is the truth. And let's see what the truth is. In the book of Isaiah 42, and watch what this says. And we're going to start reading at verse 13. Yahweh shall go forth as a mighty man. No, he's not a man, but he's going to go forth as a mighty man. And you're going to see what he's going to go forth about. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yes, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. I for a long time held my peace. I've been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a laboring woman. I will destroy and devour at once. I will make waste mountains and hills, and dry up all their herbs. I will make the rivers islands, and I will dry up the pools, and I will bring the blind by a way that they knew not. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. I will make darkness light before them, and crooked things straight. These things will I do unto them, and not forsake them. For there's a lot of crooked things that has to be straightened out. And the number one thing that has to be straightened out is the doctrines that have caused the world, the various races, the various ethnicities, the very nationalities, the very countries, and the very religions of the world to be totally confused and backwards. And let me not forget, and the governments. Watch what the Creator said he would do. They shall be turned back. They shall be greatly ashamed that trust in graven images, that say to the molten images, ye are our Elohims. Hear ye deaf, and look you blind, that you may see. And why is Yahweh talking about these graven images and these molten images? Well, undoubtedly, the world is trusting in something that did not come from Yahweh. Yahweh only gave us one doctrine. He only gave the world one doctrine to even trust in. And so the world, as well as the people of Yahweh, have allowed themselves to trust in graven images, molten images that has been propped up as Elohims. And what is an Elohim? An Elohim is a power. It's powers. And now we got countries calling themselves superpowers. We got religions calling themselves powers. We got people that's calling themselves power. But it's only one power, and that is Yahweh. And let's see what this power will have us to do, will have us to know, even in these last days. 18th verse, hear ye deaf, and look you blind that you may see. Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? Because undoubtedly, you're not teaching the right message. And if you're not teaching the right message, it's only because you must be deaf. Because Yahweh told us the truth. You must be blind because the people don't see what they're supposed to do. Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as Yahweh's servant, seeing many things, but you observest not, opening the ears, but he hears not. And let me show you the doctrine, the only doctrine that Yahweh sent his servants, his messengers, to teach. And watch what it says in the 21st verse. Yahweh is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable. And here it is. Yahweh is so pleased with his righteousness, he said he will magnify the law and make it honorable, because there's a lot of crooked things that has to be straightened out. There's a lot of dishonorable things that must go forth. And Yahweh is going to do this. And let me show you how pleased Yahweh is for his righteousness. And let me show you why the doctrine of righteousness, not the doctrine of race, where people get you caught up in race, who can be saved or who can't be saved. Can white people be saved? Can black people be saved? Can a Christian be saved or a Muslim be saved? Or can an American be saved? Or can a Greek be saved? Or a Jewish be saved? Yahweh don't want you caught up in no nationalities. Nor do he want you caught up in no ethnicity. And he definitely don't want you to be caught up in race. The only reason you're caught up in that is because of the doctrine of confusion. Watch what the Creator says. Since he is so well pleased for his righteousness' sake, in the book of Proverbs, since the world want to deal with, in other words, America, they want to close off their borders because they don't want nobody coming in. Even though this nation is a nation of immigrants. But they say no more to the immigrants. We got enough. And you got certain religions. Now, white people can't be a part of this religion. And then you got other religions that say, well, there's a black Muslim and a white Muslim. What do white and black got to do with the doctrine of righteousness? Watch what the Creator says. In the book of Proverbs 29, verse 1 and 2, watch what it says. He that being often reproved hardens his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. In the second verse, I want you to pay close attention to. When the righteous are in authority, in other words, the righteous is ruling, not the race, not the ethnicity, not the nationality. But when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And this makes total sense to me. But when the wicked bear rule, I don't care what color you are, I don't care what your nationality you are, when the wicked rule, the people mourn. Now ask yourself, we got religions all over the world. And what religion do you know are rejoicing today? And let me tell you which one. None. Let me tell you what race rejoice today. They just happy and they just rejoicing. None. And let me tell you what ethnicity is just happy and giddy and prospering and doing real good and they real glad. None. That's the doctrine that they want you to believe in. That's the doctrine they want you to adhere to. That's the doctrine they want you caught up in. But there's only one doctrine that Yahweh will allow to bear rule, true rule. And that's the doctrine of righteousness. Here it is. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And there's nobody rejoicing today. Everybody's mourning. But I thought the Democrats rule the Congress. Well, they do. Why do you think the people mourning? Well, I thought the Republicans rule the Senate. They do. Why do you think the people mourning? Well, I thought Catholicism was the largest religion on earth. It is. Why do you think the people mourning? Well, I thought Christianity is the largest one. It is. Why do you think the people mourning? Well, I thought Islam was the second largest religion on earth. It is. Why do you think the people mourning? Well, I thought Judaism was a great religion that's supposed to be, they supposed to be the chosen people of the Most High. Then why are the people mourning? Why is Jewish people mourning if it was so great? Well, I thought blacks started the whole earth, and they were the beginning of it, and we in Black History Month. But they in mourning. Well, I thought white people were ruling. They are ruling. So why are they complaining? And why do you got to make America great again if everything's so good? I thought they were already great. No, even the whites are mourning. And why? Because everyone is confused, bamboozled, tricked by the doctrine of lies. And they caught up in the wrong thing. But Yahweh said he will make the crooked things straight. And watch this, going back to Isaiah 42. Because there's no sense of talking about the doctrine of righteousness and you don't even know what that doctrine is. You believe the doctrine of righteousness is what you've been told, how you've been raised. And that couldn't be further from the truth. In the book of Isaiah 42, watch what it says. Since Yahweh is well pleased for his righteousness' sake, he said he will magnify the law and make it honorable. Well, how will Yahweh do this? In the book of Isaiah 42 and 1, watch what it says. And what are we discussing? The doctrine of race, ethnicity, and nationality. Let's see if Yahweh sent that. Or did he send a whole nother type of doctrine that you hadn't heard yet? In the book of Isaiah 42 and 1, behold my servant whom I uphold, my elect in whom my soul's delight. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles. And what are the Gentiles? The various nations of the world. Watch what it says. He shall not cry, nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the street. A bruised weed shall he not break. A smoking flax shall he not quench. He shall bring forth judgment unto truth. He shall not fail, nor be discouraged, till he has set judgment in the earth, and the owl shall wait for his law. What is this judgment of truth? Thus says Elohim Yahweh, he that created the heavens, stretched them out, he that spread forth the earth, and that which comes out of it, he that gives breath unto the people upon it, and spirit to them that walk therein. I, Yahweh, have called you in righteousness, and will hold your hand, and will keep you, and give you for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles. Here it is. Yahweh did choose a people that he called Israel. And what did he choose them for? He chose them to bring light unto the nations. No, Yahweh never sent Israel to the nations. He only sent Israel to one people and one people only. And that's other Israelites. But once Yahweh sent them to the other Israelites, the word of Yahweh, which is his righteousness, was supposed to illuminate so bright, so light, that the other nations were supposed to come to the light. That's what he means by he shall give you for a light of the people, a light of the nations. But Israel is no light at all. They're no light at all. And why? Because Israel have allowed themselves to be bamboozled by the doctrine of race, nationality, and ethnicity. And that's not what Yahweh sent them for. Watch what it says. He will give you for a covenant of the people, a light of the Gentile. And watch what it says. To open the blind eyes. Blind eyes to what? To the truth. To bring out the prisoners from the prison. And them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. I am Yahweh. That is my name. And my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. This is how we show forth Yahweh's praise. This is how you bring light to the nations. Through doctrine, through your teachings, through the truth. And the people is not telling you the truth. These people are not telling you, thus says Yahweh. And the world today is in utter darkness, gross confusion. And the crooked things must be made straight. And what doctrine would you allow yourself to be ruled by? And as I speak today and tonight, make no mistake about it, by no stretch of the imagination, even though I speak these words, everybody will not adhere to it. The mass majority of the people will reject it, even though I'm teaching you the doctrine of righteousness. And I'm going to show you by the word of Yahweh that that is the only doctrine that can save you. Race is not going to save you. Ethnicity is not going to save you. Nationality is not going to save you. Your democracy, your republic, your communism, your Islam, your Judaism, your Christianity, and being black and being white is not going to save you. It's only one thing that's going to save you, and that's righteousness. Watch what Yahweh tells us in the book of Isaiah 28. And I'm going to start reading at the 9th verse. Whom shall he teach knowledge? Who? Who should get knowledge? Let's see what race it tells you should get knowledge. Let's see what ethnicity say should get knowledge. Let's see what nationality Yahweh say get knowledge. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? And watch what it says. Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. And who is this? Babies. Not babies, just little infant babies. No. He's talking about those who are like a baby, ready and willing to learn, as if they don't know nothing, as if they have not learned anything, as if they're ready to soak up the knowledge of life. That's who you give doctrine to. That's who you made to. That's who you get knowledge to, and that's who you made to understand doctrine. Here it is. You go talking to people today about righteousness, and they start asking, "Can white people be saved? Can black people be saved? Can are you a Democrat or are you a Republican?" Well, how's that gonna save you? Ain't none of these things can save you. Watch what it says. Let's see whom Yahweh say you should teach knowledge. Who Yahweh say who you should make to understand doctrine. And watch what it says, 10th verse. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little, and there a little. For with a stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. Why? He's not going to speak to them in a conventional way. He's not going to speak to them in a way that our fathers were spoke to. To whom he said, this is the rest with which you may cause the way to rest. And this is the refreshing, yet they were not here. But the word of Yahweh was unto them precept upon precept, precept upon precept, even though they wouldn't hear. Line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they might go and fall backwards and be broken, snared, and taken. Because there's only one or two things going to happen. Either you're going to get the doctrine of righteousness or fall prey to all the other false doctrines that will ensnare you and cause you to fall. And our people in the world has fallen down. Watch what it says. Therefore, hear the word of Yahweh, you scornful men, that rule this people, which is in Jerusalem. Because you have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come to us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hidden ourselves. And this is where the world is today. Therefore, thus is Yahweh. Behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation of stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believes shall not make haste. Judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet. And the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and waters shall overflow the hiding place. In other words, the crooked things will be made straight. But who do you teach knowledge? Who do you make to understand doctrine? Is it a certain race? Is it a certain ethnic group? Is it a certain nationality? Is that what Yahweh said? No. Those that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. In other words, those that's willing to know Yahweh. And who's willing to know Yahweh? What has Yahweh given to the world that you might know him? Watch what Yahweh said in the book of Psalm 19. And I may add, most people don't even know what the world is. And why is it important to know what the world is? Little do people know the world, part of the world is heaven. And we have no connection with heaven at all. No wonder so many people are confused. Watch what it says in the book of Psalms 19. The very first verse. It says, the heavens declare the glory of Elohim, and the firmament shows his handiwork. And watch what it says, because it's trying to let you know something. Day unto day utter speech. In other words, the heavens, day after day, is speaking certain things to you. Night unto night is showing knowledge. And then we just read, who do you teach knowledge? Who do you make to understand doctrine? There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line has gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. And what are these words? In them has he set a tabernacle for the sun. And it's going to let you know exactly these words in which Yahweh was sent from heaven. Watch what it says. Which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoices as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of heaven, and his circuit to the ends of it. And there is nothing here from the heat thereof. Now let me show you what this speech and what this language is. So you'll know what Yahweh sent to the world. The doctrine that he wants you to understand. And the knowledge that he wants you to learn. Watch what it says, the 7th verse. The law of Yahweh is perfect, converting the soul. That's what he wants you to know. He wants you to know his law. Even though all these religions will tell you not to keep his law, even though Democratic and Republican rule breaks the law, even though the law has nothing to do with your ethnicity, race, or nationality. The law of Yahweh is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of Yahweh is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of Yahweh are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of Yahweh is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of Yahweh is clean, enduring forever, and the judgments of Yahweh are true and righteous altogether. Now do you see Yahweh's doctrine? And what are they for, Yahweh? 11th verse. Moreover, by them is your servant warned, and in keeping of them, there's great reward. Who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back your servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Yahweh, my strength and my Redeemer. This is Yahweh's doctrine. This is the knowledge that Yahweh wants you to learn. And the scriptures lets us know there's nothing new under the sun. Yahweh doctrine has always been about a doctrine of righteousness. And Yahweh never, ever had this doctrine of race, ethnicity, and nationality that people are pushing today. Now let me prove to you that I'm telling you the truth. Watch what happened in the book of Genesis. Genesis, the 6th chapter. I want you to see this. In the book of Genesis, the 6th chapter, the very first verse. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters was born to them. Now, what men were they? Were they white? Were they black? Were they Christian? Were they Muslim? Were they Jewish? Was they Republican? Democrat? What were they? That the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men, that they were fair. And they took them wives of all which they chose. And why would Yahweh's sons take some daughters of men? That don't make sense. But watch what happens, the 3rd verse. And Yahweh said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years. Why? There were giants in the earth in those days. And also, after that, when the sons of Elohim came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. That's how you know this ain't talking about some angels. Angels don't mate with people and then they start having children. That's a total doctrine of lies. But watch what it says. The 5th verse. And Yahweh saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented Yahweh that he had made man on the earth. And it grieved him at his heart. And Yahweh said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, the creeping thing, the fowls of the air, for it repents me that I've made them. Here it is. It was man that had corrupted the whole earth, but they corrupted the earth so bad, Yahweh started destroying fowls and beasts and creeping things and everything in the earth because of the corruptness of man. Now, what man was this? Was he a Democrat or a Republican? A Catholic or a Jew? White or black? What was he? Well, there was only 2 types of men on the earth. Righteous and wicked. And watch what Yahweh says in the 9th verse, 8th verse. But Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahweh. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man, perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with Elohim. And who will you walk with? And what doctrine will you allow to rule your existence? And will that doctrine save you? That's what you have to ask yourself. Watch what it says in the book of Genesis, the 7th chapter. The very first verse. Because what are we talking about? Are you caught up in the doctrine of race, ethnicity, nationality? And not the doctrine of righteousness? Watch what it says in Genesis 7 and 1. And Yahweh said unto Noah, come you and all your house into the ark, speaking of Noah and his family. Why, Yahweh? For you have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Because the thing that you're looking for is not the thing Yahweh's looking for. Yahweh is and will and have always looked for righteousness. So why ain't you looking for that? And why ain't you about that? And why ain't you caught up in that? Can so-and-so be saved? Can that be saved? You should be asking yourself, can you be saved? Watch what it says in the book of Genesis, the 11th chapter. Because we see in the book of Genesis, the 6th chapter and the 7th chapter, it didn't mention no ethnic group. It didn't mention no nationality, nor did it mention any race. It didn't mention no religion, nor did it mention anything about communism, republicanism, or democraticism. It didn't mention none of that at all. But what it did mention, that Yahweh seen righteousness. And let's see, and that's when he destroyed the earth by flood. But what would Yahweh do in the book of Genesis, the 11th chapter? Let's see what doctrine Yahweh was looking for then. Genesis 11 and 1. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. Now, do you know how deep that is? There was only one language. So nobody can be confused. One speech. So nobody was divided. They was all of one speech. They was all of one language. Total unity. And I thought that's what Yahweh wanted. Us speaking the same way. Us speaking the same language. Where did Yahweh say that at? It's only one doctrine that Yahweh wanted us to speak. And you're going to see. It's the doctrine of righteousness. And watch what it says. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, go to, let us make brick, burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, slime had they for mortar. And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And Yahweh came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men built. And Yahweh said, behold, the people are one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Why? Because they are one. And they only got one speech and one language. But watch what it says. 7th verse. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. Now, why would Yahweh do that? I thought he wanted us to be one. So Yahweh scattered them abroad from there upon the face of all the earth, and they ceased to build a city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because Yahweh did there confound the language of all the earth. And from there did Yahweh scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. And why? Because Yahweh is not interested in, because we speak the same speech and speak the same language. What in the world do that has to do with righteousness? All the Crips is speaking the same language. All the Bloods have the same code. All the Pyrus walk the same way. But what do that have to do with righteousness? Nothing. All that is more division. Divided in your own communities, divided in your own house, divided in your own churches, divided in your own religions, and even divided in your own country. And why? Because you're not keeping, adhering, and executing the only doctrine that the creator of the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that is therein gave us. But you've allowed yourself to be caught up in the doctrine of race, ethnicity, and nationality. And it will not save you. It didn't save them at the Tower of Babel. It didn't save them during the time of the flood. Well, let's see if it saved them in Sodom and Gomorrah. Watch this. In the book of Deuteronomy, the 18th chapter. Genesis, the 18th chapter. And let's see. And I'm going to start reading at the 20th verse, Genesis 18 and 20. And Yahweh said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great. It's great. And because their sin is very grievous. And what religion were they keeping? They sin so great. What doctrine did they believe in? And what rule did they go by? It don't even tell you. All it lets you know, it was evil. It was wicked. And it wasn't from Yahweh. Watch what it says. 21st verse. I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which has come to me. And if not, I will know. And the men turned their faces from there and went toward Sodom. And Abraham stood yet before Yahweh. And watch what happened. 23rd verse. And Abraham drew near and said, will you also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Abraham ain't concerned about no ethnicity. He ain't concerned about no nationality. He's not concerned about no race. Abraham is asking about the righteous versus the wicked. And here today, people are asking, so-and-so be saved, can that be saved? But nobody concerned about the righteous. That's what Abraham was concerned about. Watch what it says. Perhaps there are 50 righteous within the city. Will you also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? And let's see what Yahweh is concerned about. Let's see if he's concerned about some race, ethnicity, and nationality. Watch what it says. 25th verse. That be far from you to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked. That be far from you. Should not the judge of all the earth do right? And Yahweh said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, because this is Yahweh's concern, that's what he looked for, then I will spare all the place for their sakes. Now, why would Yahweh do that? Because Yahweh said he is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. Well pleased. So he will magnify the law and make it honorable. Watch what it says. And Abraham answered and said, behold now, I have taken upon me to speak to Yahweh, which am but dust and ashes. Perhaps there shall lack 5 of the 50 righteous. Will you destroy all the city for the lack of 5? And he said, if I find there 40 and 5, I will not destroy it. And he spoke to him yet again and said, perhaps there shall be 40 found there. And he said, I will not do it for 40's sake. And he said to him, oh, let not Yahweh be angry, and I will speak. Perhaps there shall 30 be found there. And he said, I will not do it if I find 30 there. And he said, behold, now I have taken upon me to speak to Yahweh. Perhaps there shall be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 20's sake. And he said, oh, let not Yahweh be angry, and I will speak yet this once. Perhaps 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. You see what Yahweh is doing? You see what Yahweh is saying? You see what Yahweh is well pleased about? So why would you allow yourself to get caught up in a doctrine that Yahweh never sent you, never told you about, and never told you to concern yourself with? There's only one doctrine, and one doctrine only. And I may add, Yahweh destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. And we know as a truth that there wasn't just one nationality in Sodom and Gomorrah. Because even Lot was in Sodom and Gomorrah. And he was not the same national origin. He was not the same race, nor ethnicity of the inhabitants of the land. You think he was the only foreigner there? No, he wasn't the only foreigner. But Abraham asked about the righteous. and watch while Yahweh destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah in the book of Genesis 13. And it wasn't because of their nationality, nor was it because of their race, nor was it because of their ethnicity. Look what Yahweh said. Genesis 13 and 1. And Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him into the south. And Abram was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. And he went on his journeys from the south even to Bethel, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Kai, unto the place of the altar, which he had made there at the first. And there Abram called on the name of Yahweh. And Lot also, which went with Abraham, had flocks, herds, and tents. And the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together. For their substance was great, so that they could not dwell together. And there was a strife between the herdsmen of Abram's cattle and the herdsmen of Lot's cattle. And a Canaanite and a Perizzite dwelt then in the land. And Abram said to Lot, let there be no strife, I pray you, between me and you, and between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, for we are brethren. Is not the whole land before you? Separate yourself, I pray you, from me. If you will take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if you depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left. And Lot lifted up his eyes and saw all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before Yahweh destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Even as the garden of Yahweh, like the land of Egypt, as you come unto Zoar. In other words, when Lot lifted up his eyes and seen Sodom and Gomorrah, to him, it looked like the Garden of Eden. 11th verse. Then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves the one from the other. Abram dwelt in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelt in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent toward Sodom. And watch the 13th verse. But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before Yahweh exceedingly. See, he's seen all the beautiful land. He's seen all the beautiful landscape. He's seen the nice water gardens. But that's the last thing he should have been looking at. But what he didn't see, and it's the very thing our people don't see, and that's the wicked, and that's the sinners. And they're not looking for the wicked. They're not looking for the sinners, nor are they looking for the righteous. But what our people are looking for is race, ethnicity, and nationality. What's your race? What's your nationality? What's your ethnicity? Are you a Democrat or a Republican? Are you a Christian, Muslim, or Jew? And what will you allow yourself to continue to look for? Since Yahweh is not looking at none of the things that you're looking at, but he's looking for the righteous. And what about the Canaanites? Why did Yahweh kick them out of the land and destroy them? Watch what the scripture says in the book of Deuteronomy 13. Was it because of their race? Was it because of their ethnicity? Was it because of their nationality? Watch what it says in the book of Deuteronomy, the 13th chapter. Or make that Deuteronomy, not 13. Deuteronomy 18. And watch what it says. Deuteronomy 18. And we're going to start reading at the 9th verse. When you have come into the land which Yahweh your Elohim gives you, watch what it says now. You shall not learn to do after the abomination of those nations. What nations is that? Well, the Canaanite nations. And why Yahweh? There shall not be found among you anyone that makes his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that use divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter or witch, or a charmer or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination unto Yahweh. And because of these abominations, Yahweh, your Elohim, do drive them out from before you. You shall be perfect with Yahweh, your Elohim. For these nations which you shall possess, listened to observer of times and to diviners. But as for you, Yahweh, your Elohim, has not allowed you so to do. So here it is. Once again, Yahweh is not destroying people because of their race, their nationality, their ethnicity. Yahweh is destroying nations and people because of their wickedness. Because Yahweh is only looking for one thing and one thing only, and that's the righteous. Watch what it says in the book of Deuteronomy, the 9th chapter. What about Israel? Did Yahweh bless Israel, the nation of Israel, his chosen people? Did he bless them? Take them into the land that was promised to our forefathers because of their righteousness? Because they were good? Because they were obedient? Not at all. Watch what Yahweh lets us know in the book of Deuteronomy, the 9th chapter, the very first verse. Hear, O YIsraEL, you are to pass over this Jordan this day to go in to possess nations greater and mightier than yourself. cities great and fenced up to heaven, a people great and tall, the children of the Anakims, whom you know, and of whom you have heard say, who can stand before the children of Anak? Understand, therefore, this day, that Yahweh, your Elohim, is he which goes over before you. As a consuming fire, he shall destroy them, and he shall bring them down before your face. So shall you drive them out and destroy them quickly, as Yahweh has said to you. Now watch this, what Yahweh said, because this is the thing that you must get. This is the thing that you must understand. Speak not you in your heart. Don't say this in your heart. After that, Yahweh, your Elohim, has cast them out from before you, saying, for my righteousness, Yahweh has brought me in to possess this land. No, that's not what Yahweh wants you to say in your heart. But for the wickedness of these nations, Yahweh does drive them out from before you. In other words, it wasn't because you were so righteous that you received the promised land. Because if the inhabitants and the people was right when they was in the land, they would still be in the land. But Yahweh said because of their wickedness, do he drive them out. Not because of their nationality, not because of their race, not because of their ethnicity, but because of their wickedness. And watch what it says. And Yahweh wants you to, he repeated it, 5th verse. Not for your righteousness or for the uprightness of your heart do you go to possess their land. This is not why you're blessed. But for the wickedness of these nations, Yahweh, your Elohim, does draw them out from before you, and that he may perform the word which Yahweh swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Yaakov. Understand, therefore, that Yahweh, your Elohim, gives you not this good land to possess it for your righteousness. How many times Yahweh got to drill this into your head? For you are a stiff-necked people. Remember, and forget it not, how you provoke Yahweh, your Elohim, to wrath in the wilderness, from the day that you did depart out of the land of Egypt until you came to this place. You have been rebellious against Yahweh. Also in Horeb you provoked Yahweh to wrath, so that Yahweh was angry with you to have destroyed you. And when I had gone up into the mount to receive the tables of stones, even the tables of the covenant which Yahweh made with you, then I stayed in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. I neither did eat bread nor drink water. And Yahweh delivered to me 2 tables of stone written with the finger of Elohim, and on them was written, according to all the words which Yahweh spoke with you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of assembly. And it came to pass, at the end of the 40 days and 40 nights, that Yahweh gave me 2 tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant. And Yahweh said to me, arise, get you down quickly from here, for your people, which you have brought forth out of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. They have quickly turned aside out of the way, which I commanded them. They have made them a molten image. Furthermore, Yahweh spoke to me, saying, I've seen these people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. That's what you are. That's what I am. We are a stiff-necked people. And if we are a stiff-necked people, what do you think the world is? And why? Because we refuse to adhere to the one thing that Yahweh sent to us. And what was that? His righteousness. And what's the problem with Yahweh's righteousness? What problem do we have with righteousness? And why will we allow ourselves to trust in the doctrine of race, ethnicity, and nationality? If you're not the right, if you weren't born in the right tribe, the right nation, at the right time, you weren't raised in the right religion and the right this and the right that, Yahweh is responsible for us all. And it's up to you whether you want to serve Yahweh or not. Look what Yahweh said. Deuteronomy 32. Deuteronomy 32, and watch what it says. The very first verse. Give ear, O ye heavens. Now, why do the heavens have to listen? Because that's part of the world. And I will speak. And hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. Now watch what it says. My doctrine shall drop as the rain. My speech shall distill as the dew. And as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass. Because I will publish the name of Yahweh and ascribe you greatness unto our Elohim. He is the rock. His work is perfect, for all his ways are judgment, a Elohim of truth, without iniquity, just and right is he. Just and right is he. It is us, my brothers and sisters, that had to be straightened out. Yahweh said he will make the crooked things straight. And it starts with whom shall you teach knowledge? To whom shall you make to understand doctrine? Either you're going to hear the message of truth, or the doctrine of lies. And the mass majority of the people will accept the doctrine of lies. Watch what this says in the book of Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter. Because I want you to understand the thing that you might be flushing down the toilet. And why? Because your neck is stiff. And why? Because your heart is hard. Watch what it says in the book of Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter.
60 seconds.
The 13th verse. Only acknowledge your iniquity, that you have transgressed against Yahweh your Elohim, and scattered your ways to the strangers under every green tree. And you have not obeyed my voice, says Yahweh. Turn, O backsliding children, says Yahweh, for I am married to you. Now watch what this says. And I will take you one of a city, just one of a city, 2 of a family, just 2 in a family, and I will bring you to Zion.
10 seconds.
And what would I bring you to Zion for? What would I bring you to Zion to do? And watch what it says. And I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. And did not we tell you, whom shall you teach knowledge? And to whom shall you make to understand doctrine? Those that are weaned from the milk, and those that are drawn from the breast. In other words, not some group, not some race, not some ethnicity, not some nationality, but those who will humble themselves before the true and living Elohim to obey his words. The doctrine of righteousness. This is the doctrine that Yahweh wants you to receive. And this is the state of the world. So until tomorrow, Yahweh love you, and so do I. Shalom.
To you, my Yah, do I lift up my soul. And trust in you, he always kept me whole. And left my enemies deep in their holes. Let none that wait on Yahweh be ashamed. Put shame on those who sin without a cause. Show me your ways, please teach me your laws. Oh Elohim of my salvation, I'm staying down impatient as a child all the while I'm waiting. Remember not the sins of my youth, lead me in your truth and he'll give your soul ease. The earth shall remain inherited by a seed. The secret of YAH'S who fears Elohim, or who believes everything and to every word spoken. You can't take heed unless you hear somebody curse you, know you did the same thing. That's why I'm begging y'all for mercy and this love and kindness, cause I know that I ain't worthy.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.